Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ira Haryati. My ID student's number is 212122512. Today I will present my research proposal entitled The Effect of Listening to Music on Listening Skills. The ability to listen is crucial of acquiring a language. However, that is still a dearth of research, particularly when it comes to educational settings. On activities like listening to music that can enhance listening abilities. The purpose of this study is to determine whether our non-student listening abilities are significantly impacted by the act of listening to music. Numerous earlier research projects have demonstrated the capacity of music to enhance language proficiency. For instance, Ludke et al. 2014 research discovered that a foreign language program centered around singing might considerably enhance student listening comprehension skills. Nevertheless, not enough research has been done on the effect of different musical genres, even while pop music genres like rock and hip-hop are more popular among younger students. The majority of studies primarily looks at classical or jazz music. Thus, the purpose of the study is to examine how different musical genres affect listener comprehension. So, in the next point is formulation of the problem. Do student listening skill and the frequency of their music listening have a significant relationship? And original definition, listening to music refers to the activity of listening to musical composition by students, whether while studying on campus, in class, or in their free time. The amount of time pupils spend listening to music each week is used to measure this. The ability of pupils to comprehend auditory information, such as lecture material or lecturer's direction, is referred to as listening abilities. This entails being able to respond appropriately and comprehend word, sentence, context, and overall meaning. An audio comprehension test that includes questions on lecture content and presenter instruction is used to assess listening skills. So, for the next point is aim of the study. The purpose of the study is to examine how much music affects listening skill and how listening activities affect students' listening abilities. The purpose of the study is to determine whether or not students' listening skills are significantly impacted by the frequency of their music consumption, as well as whether or not different music genres have variant effects. And the next is significance of the study. It is intended that this study will contribute to a better understanding of how students learn and how they interpret spoken instruction from lecturers. This will make it easier to comprehend how psychological and cognitive function like perception, information processing, and memory relate to listening abilities. Research findings can encourage our understanding of how to modify instruction to raise student accomplishment, which can lead to the advancement of educational theory. It focuses on helping students learn how to listen more effectively and help create educational programs that are more successful. And then is theoretical framework. This research applies the information processing theory, Atkinson and Shiffrin, 1968, with a focus on auditory sensory memory, and working memory is processing verbal information. As music listening occupies an auditory sensor memory capacity, frequent music listening may impede effect processing of auditory lecture content in working memory. King and Williamson, 2014. However, certain music genres have specific elements that differ in sensory memory domains based on the paid participation thought hallucination modeled by Pitek et al. 2020. Music preparation and processing prime cognitive function underlying working memory, attention, and auditory processing. And then is research method. Quantitative correlation research design student in the educational study program make up the population and sample Siliwangi University Tasikmalaya. And for population and sample, the population in this study, we are student of the English Language Education Study program at Siliwangi University. The choice of student as the research population was based on the aim of analyzing the effect of listening to music on listening abilities in the content of higher education. The sampling technique that will be used is probability sampling with a sample random sampling method. Probability sampling is chosen so that all individuals in the population have the same chance of being selected as the sample. The sample random sampling method will be carried out by drawing lots for all 2021 English language education students. Simple random sampling was chosen because it was considered to be the most objective and could represent the entire population. The sample size was determined to be 80 students from the class of 2021 who were taken randomly from all English language education class. And for data collection, the data in the research were collected using the methods, namely a music listening activity questionnaire, a listening ability test, pre-post test, and an observation sheet on the music genres that respondents liked. The questionnaire aims to identify the frequency and duration of listening to music as independent variables. And the last is data analyze. The data analyze use the Pearson correlation test, multiple linear regression test, mean difference test, t-test, ANOVA, and effect size to determine the significance and magnitude of the influence of the variables. So this is for the reference. Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm any mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.